everybody, what's up? And welcome back to the Nashtea, your favorite Music City podcast. I am Allie, here with Ty, as always. Spirit fingers.
What is up, everybody?
Oh, what up?
Little more subtle today.
Little more subtle today.
We wanted to start off by obviously sending our thoughts and prayers to the victims of the tornadoes that just blew through here the other night.
Yes, absolutely.
I think moving down south, that was one of the first things that I didn't think too much about the tornadoes, I guess, because I thought that was more like, I didn't realize how close Alabama was, I guess. But, I thought Alabama,
Oklahoma,
Arkansas, stuff like that, maybe. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Oklahoma. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, flat.
So when I got here and you hear we hear tornado sirens, I think I brushed it off at first because I never really saw one touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were at a songwriter's night downtown one time when the sirens went off, and it was moving, like the cars lined up in the street. We were down on like by Church and 3rd, I think.
Wow.
And the cars on the side of the street started moving.
Stop.
Like the wind that was gusting underneath it was. And so we do take it really seriously whenever we know that there's a storm coming. We always
find the room, find the pets, figure out where you need to be.
Don't we don't go screaming through the house or anything, but
but it's also not like West Palm Beach where we threw hurricane parties.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. No. You find your safe spot.
Very dangerous.
But no, like our hearts really did break because we knew a lot of people that lived in the Hendersonville area, in the Madison area, in the Springfield, Clarksville. So I hope all of you guys are doing okay.
Yeah.
And if there's anything we can do to help, obviously, reach out. We want to help out any way we can.
Absolutely.
Also, on another sad note, I know what a bummer way to start it, but it'll get better, I promise. But
oh man, I can't.
Rest in peace to Mr. Frank Wycheck. He passed away on Saturday.
Yeah.
In his home in Chattanooga. He was Tennessee Titans tight end. He was the staple point in the Music City Miracle. He's the guy who threw it backwards. It was backwards. But without him, the Music City Miracle wouldn't have even happened. So rest in peace. And, again, our thoughts and prayers to his family. We're big Titans fans here. So I know the Titans family is hurting. They're about to play on Monday Night Football as we speak. So
I know he's missing the game for this. That is dedication.
So worth it.
I don't know if you guys.
Well, they're playing Miami, so.
Oh yeah.
I'm really more sparing myself the pain, but
you're like, let's just not do that tonight.
Yeah, I hope Derek can get put up some good numbers, and the young quarterback Levis, I hope he does well. But yeah, it's all right. I'm gonna guess 42-13 is the final score.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. What are you guessing?
I would say 40.
Okay. Miami's gonna put up 40?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
To 27.
Ooh, okay. At least we'll make a little of a game out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good old D happening.
That would be great.
In all the ways. No, I'm just
kidding.
Kidding.
But anyway, we we like to have fun here. We talk a lot of shit, but when something serious like that happens, obviously we want to take a moment to
some reverence for sure.
Yeah.
And we could never imagine.
Hope all of you are safe with your families through. And yeah,
absolutely.
And we can rebuild sooner than later.
Well, I think that is a good way to transition into our song of the week this week.
All right.
Because I have picked this song. It's a happy song, and it is literally called Happy, and it's by an artist called Kyle Hume.
Oh.
He's from Kentucky originally. I think he's out in LA now.
Okay.
And he has this song out. He's got a lot of singles, but I just love this one because it really resonates with me. And my grandma likes to tell me the story. She says, when you were younger, I used to ask you what you wanted to be when you grew up. And you used to just say happy. And it is really true. So I loved this song. It really hit home with me. He starts out by saying, I used to say when I grow up, I'd make the NBA, make $1 million, or maybe be an astronaut. That was all a little harder than I thought. I'd have my name up in the stars, the fancy clothes, the flashy cars. But that was back a couple dreams ago. Reality ain't quite like the TV shows.
Oh,
and so he goes on to say, you know, he just wants to be happy, basically. And so it's a great song, super catchy. If you need like a feel good, like windows down jam, just check it out. Kyle Hume, Happy, and you will not regret it.
All right. I love that.
Yeah. What's yours?
Love the lyrics too. Okay. So I'm going to go songwriter this week.
Yes. Which will set us up for our topic today, which we'll leave as a surprise because it's going to be a good one.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I'm going to go with Casey Beathard. And Casey wrote a song called You Had to Be There, which was recorded by Tim McGraw. I'm not sure which album that was, but it wasn't one of the singles, I don't believe. But I hadn't heard Tim's version until recently, actually. The way the story went, I signed a publishing deal when I was like 20 or 21. I can't remember. I think it's 21. And that was my first deal. And so I thought, oh, I'm hot shit. You know, I'm getting paid to just write songs.
Yeah.
You know, every day. That's living the dream, you know, and I was, you know, fresh off the train here and,
from where? No, I'm just kidding.
Mexico. No, I lived in Mexico for 3 years when I was like a little boy. But anyway, so my every day I would leave and stop by my song plugger's office, play the song or songs we'd written that day, and then they would give me feedback on, you know, how I can make it better, or, oh, this would be a really good pitch for so and so, you know. And when I first got here, I was writing for like Tim McGraw, Kenny Chesney, Brooks and Dunn, Carrie Underwood. I mean, they didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
But I was. And
TBD.
And, yeah, so I stop in, and it was a Friday. I remember I was cheating. I had really just popped up a sacrifice bunt just to get into the Friday faster. I wanted to go downtown, meet my friends. They already had Jack on the Rocks waiting, which was turning to water. So I was like,
I gotta get out of here.
Yeah. So
it's Jack time.
So we wrote the bridge really quickly. And as I'm on my way out, she knew that I'd sped it up because we had a really great hook that day. And I spoiled it by just speeding through the verses.
Yeah.
So she sat me down and she didn't lecture me. She didn't, you know, belittle me or anything for getting paid to do this and for taking a shortcut. She said, I want you to hear something. So she puts in the CD, and it's Casey singing his song, You Had to Be There. And by the end of it, I was just embarrassed and kind of slumping in my chair a little bit, like, yeah, okay, you know.
Yeah.
When the last line of the song hits, though, I realized how far I had to go as a songwriter and as an artist, like to be able to record songs like that and make it believable as an artist, and also to be able to write songs like that. I had a hell of a long way to go.
Yeah.
So it was a humbling experience, but it's also one of those songs that to this day, you know, I think that if I was sitting in a room with, you know, the best songwriters in town, I think we play that song and we all kind of look at each other like, yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
That's one of the good ones.
Absolutely. So. That was her way of saying, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Here's the bar.
And here's where you were.
Yeah, exactly.
We all need those humbling moments. It's fine. Well, that is a good way to just kind of swerve right into our main segment tonight, which I'm sure, as you have seen, the title of this episode is California Sober. And we have an interesting story from our main character here. He's giving main character energy, and he always has. And and by that, I mean he's been a troublemaker. So this story I've been waiting for him to tell.
I'm 25 years old.
Okay.
I'd had a publishing deal for a while at that point. I'd written with a lot of established artists and songwriters. Things were starting to go really well. And so I signed my first record deal at 25, 26, something like that.
That's awesome.
And it wasn't everything that I thought it was going to be. And then at the same time, it was, you know, I think it was more, I wasn't prepared. I was like a year before in combat, and I definitely should have like paused and maybe gotten some help for that. And I think that my journey here would have been a lot different. But instead I came in, you know, with my defenses up, and I looked at it as a business. You know, there were too many people playing games here. Yeah. And I didn't want any part of that. I was like, I want to be out on the stage touring and playing music to the people out there and try to,
you came in hot and you had big goals.
Yeah, I definitely wanted that solo artist career and to be the guy in country music. So, I mean, it was enough to change my name when I got here because it would have sped things up quicker. I mean, I'm Latin, and so 20 years ago here in the good old white boy club and white girl club, it was like there wasn't really space for an artist. They were accepting like as songwriters and stuff, but to be one of the people out in the main front, like
not so much.
No bueno. It was too soon.
Yeah.
So anyway, but up until that point, it's true that when I was in Iraq, I was in guard towers, and to stay awake sometimes my partner would always have a cigarette in his mouth. It was disgusting. I mean, I couldn't stand the smell of it. I'd never tried it. And growing up, because of my dad and my mom, I wanted to be respectful of them. I never, I never did any drugs. I never smoked a cigarette. I never drank. So when I got called into a meeting, I was really shocked to hear that they sat me down and said, we got a problem. They tell me that my record label's called, and they'd heard a rumor from somebody that they trusted that I was a pothead. Now, mind you, like I'd never smoked anything illegal, never done any drugs, never drank.
Yeah.
Growing up, I'd always be into shit, but I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd always get into mischief, but it was never like to hurt anybody. It was always just like stupid stuff,
and not that kind of stuff.
And and as far as when it came to like drugs or alcohol, I was a goody two shoes because of my parents.
You had to be.
So because
your mom is an angel and your father is your father.
Yeah,
and he had a certain job that.
He was special agent in charge of the DEA in Phoenix.
Those two don't really go together.
So just out of respect for them, I never, I didn't do it. But anyway, they called me in and they said, we hear that you're a pothead. And after laughing, I said, well, you can call my unit and check my last drug test. I'll pee in a cup for you right now. Or you believe me. Yeah. They said, we have a better idea. We want you to call this guy in front of us,
So were you in like a conference room?
Yeah, so we were sitting at this long table.
And you were at the head of the table and everyone's staring at you?
Yeah, I was like in the middle, and then so there were like, it was all publishing people. We're all sitting around this table. Yeah. And I call this guy, I'm like, yo, listen, this is what my label says. They told me that you called them to say that. Yeah. I was like, it seems so high schoolish, and he was like a big player. He's a bass player. So yeah, I'm like, it's strange that even at that level, people would act like that. Yeah. But for whatever reason it was, they were trying to fuck up my deal, like right at the end there. And, so he denies it, of course. Yeah. No. I would never, I don't recall that at all. I've never seen you do that. I said, all right, it's fine. So we agreed to get lunch later and went about our ways. Look at my publishing company. They're going like, yeah, like, all right, we're good. Ty, we just needed to check, Yeah. And I said, no, I understand. Because I knew I had won. So I, walked out victorious. Mm-hmm. And the next day I flew home for Christmas and went up to New York to be with my parents and my sister. I'm telling my sister this, and she's just like, she's New Yorkers like these those people, you know,
They don't know shit.
small time, like and I said, no, like you don't understand. They really believe this, and so anyway,
She's like, why not make it true?
she said if they
Let's
already
make it happen.
if you already think they already think you do, and she pulls out a bowl, and I said, all right, they already think I do anyway, so I tried it, and nothing happened, and so she dumped it out, packed it again, and she's like, if it doesn't work this time, like that's it, because you're gonna waste all my weed. And so I smoked it down a second time. I'm like, I finally do something illegal, and nothing. But when I tell you that 10 minutes later, I was seeing sound and tasting colors. I've never been so high in my life.
Yeah.
It was like I was blind and then I could see. I was deaf and now I can hear. Jason Mraz was playing through the speaker, and you kind of alluded to this earlier. You're like, I was basically pulling out the piano parts and moving them over here, and then taking out the bass part and moving it over here.
Did you feel God in this Chili's tonight?
I did. I felt God. Anyway, so I come back, I record, or I write like 6 or 7 songs. I go to my guitar player at the time, who's the only person I knew that smoked the devil's lettuce, because back then it wasn't like cool.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
20 years ago,
the only person that
obviously-
could do it was Willie, right?
exactly. Willie was the only
That's
one
it.
because, obviously, because the label had a serious image problem. You know,
Right.
they were like, oh my God, we can't put out this guy and put all this money into him.
Right.
And then he's not reliable out there.
Mhm.
And I assured them that I've never not been reliable. I've always been on time, and I'm a stickler for that because of the military, and the way I was raised.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're gonna spread rumors around town, I might as well have fun.
They manifested.
I might as well
you
enjoy it.
smoking weed.
Yeah.
They were
you
like,
think that I do, and then I'm
"This
still
is
sitting at
happening."
home miserable. That doesn't seem to work. So I came home.
fine.
I wrote 6 or 7 songs. All 6 out of the 7 made the album. And instead of rubbing it in their face, you know, I kind of kept it quiet,
Yeah.
and use it as my little secret weapon.
Well, they say,
they
what
said-
are you doing?
Yeah, they said, man, whatever you're doing, keep it up. And I did,
You're like, all right.
and I have ever since.
Thank you, kind sirs and ma'ams.
Thank you to my publishing company, my record label, for encouraging me to step out of my comfort zone. And also thank you to God for creating such a wonderful plant.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. That's all I need to say about that.
There you go. I like still to this day have never
You've never, Really?
partooketh.
I think you're in the wrong, if you're going to do it for the first time, you should
Yeah.
go we should go to Colorado or
Yeah.
go somewhere, or California or
No, I like
Vegas,
Colorado.
somewhere. Yeah.
And like a lodge, have a little bit of, after a good
everybody's
ski.
comfortable. You're just kind of sitting there.
Yes.
See, I think for me,
I'm scared.
okay.
Put it in a brownie. But then people say, no, if you eat it, it's a lot stronger.
It is.
Oh, no, I would probably
Or it
be on
can
the
be.
ground.
It can be, I guess, because
Yeah.
it's more concentrated.
I'm super controlling, and I don't like to not feel like myself.
I understand
So I
that.
feel like I would be.
And that's also why my wife's the same way. Like she's not, she doesn't like it. She doesn't, she accepts that I do it at nighttime. Like I'll just step out and, it's instead of having a drink, like I'll just have a toke. And
the
then-
legal stuff.
Legal. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. We have to clarify because we are in Tennessee. So.
which is so ridiculous. But if I knew where the illegal stuff was, I would go get it. I just don't know where it is, and I don't want to be meeting people like behind Walmart.
No. Yeah, no.
Anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, I'm saying when I was like 20,
Yeah, you took more risks.
and I first started like doing it. It was a friend of a friend of a friend who knew somebody.
Yeah.
And then usually you'd get there and it looked like it came out of somebody's butthole, It was just like dried up and I mean, half of it was oregano.
Stop.
And you're just like, I don't feel comfortable smoking this.
This is not nice.
So now that you can go places like West Nashville Vape. Shout out to my boy Ahmed. He's amazing. He's such a great guy. I know where they get their stuff. I see it come in sealed packages. It's not sprayed with anything.
That's good.
And yeah, like that stuff's important to me because I don't want to die.
Can we go back to the butthole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. It was a weird segue.
Yeah, I mean, they really smuggle more like cocaine and balloons and buttholes, I think, than weed, because that would be such a waste.
When I tell you
Like, I don't
that
think we would
D.A.R.E
survive that.
traumatized me. No, it definitely wouldn't.
D.A.R.E.
D.A.R.E. traumatized me. And if anybody out there says D.A.R.E. doesn't work, I see you and I raise you. Me.
Hey, Dad, you hear that?
I'll never forget this police officer pulled out a balloon and a condom. And he was like, do you see this? And there was like something inside. It was probably like flour or something. They were like, this is cocaine. This came out of somebody's butthole. I was like, oh my God. Why are you holding it? What's wrong with you? Johnny?
Yes.
Were you perv? Get that out of your hands. Oh, we also had to
That's
chew
the good stuff right there.
a Tootsie Roll. That was in Massachusetts, D.A.R.E.
Okay.
In North Carolina, D.A.R.E. We had to chew a Tootsie Roll, and we had those little like swish cups, and we had to spit out all the Tootsie Roll juice, and we couldn't eat the Tootsie Roll. We just had to spit it out because like chewing tobacco is a big thing there. And so when I tell you that was the most disgusting, I was like, what? I was in 4th or 5th grade, maybe. I don't know.
I understand why you do it. Those of you who are dippers, I did it for a very
What is it? Why?
Well, so the first time.
Sorry, I'm being judgy, but
yeah, you are. But
sorry.
No, it's okay. But
I need to know. I need somebody clarify this for me.
So for people that don't want to smell like smoke or inhale that into their lungs, it gives them the same kind of nicotine rush.
Okay, gotcha.
It is the similar nicotine rush, maybe even more because it's going straight into your bloodstream since it's like in the lip. The idea of it, like little tiny fiberglass particles cutting my lip and then allowing them to, some people, it probably turns them on. They're like, God, give me that nicotine. But like for me, I'm just like, wait, it's cutting into my mouth and then that's going into my bloodstream. And then,
icky.
I wish I was more of a man to be able to do it because a friend of mine had this sour apple skull.
Yeah.
And
little round cans.
In the little round cans.
Yep.
And so we were training because we knew we were getting deployed to either Iraq or Afghanistan. We weren't sure where, but we knew we were getting deployed. We were sitting there in New Jersey on a base, just waiting. Like we were training every day, but we hadn't gotten our orders yet to go. So we weren't sure where we were going. And anyway, what the hell were we just talking about?
The skull.
Yeah. So we're training in New Jersey at Fort Dix, and we're training for desert warfare in like 4 feet of snow. Because it's New Jersey in the wintertime. It's fucking cold.
Yikes.
And so we're in the back of these 5-ton trucks as they take us over to the firing range and then over to, chow and whatever. And I was just so tired. And one of the guys was like, man, I don't even put a little bit of this in your lip. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay.
Why do I know that you sound exactly like him?
Yeah, because
I could
that's what he sounded
like.
And I was like, yeah, okay, thank you. And I was like, how much do I take? And he's like, just a little pinch. And I was like, okay. So he goes, here, watch. And he like put more in his mouth. So he had like a big old wad. So I figure like a little pinch for me,
Yeah.
What, Allie, I put like maybe this much right here.
Yeah.
And
did you throw up?
Yeah, we were riding in the back of the 5-ton and I started feeling cold.
Oh no.
You know that feeling? Like you're just like,
washes
oh,
over
shit.
You. Oh,
and I'm like, I got a lot of spit in my mouth. Like,
what do you do with it?
Yeah, and so I think that's what happened. I think I swallowed a little bit of it.
Oh no.
And I couldn't get out of that 5-ton fast enough. I ran behind those big tires and just
barfed everywhere. Well, I have to say, growing up,
fertilized the gravel.
Yeah, well, a nice little tobacco moment there for that.
So then I didn't touch nicotine until really like towards the end of my tour, and then it was really just to stay awake at night because I was so bored.
You want to hear
When we would
the
do guard
worst
duty.
piece of dating advice I've ever heard?
What's that?
One of my father's friends told me that in order to date a person, I needed to check to make sure that they had the faded ring in their back pocket. The skull. I was like, thank you. I'm good on that though. I appreciate your candor. We're going to pass on that.
The internet's changed a lot of things because now everybody has access to information. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really think about that, but like I grew
Google
up
gum cancer pictures and then you're like, all right.
I think I'm not going to do that. Yeah.
We're going to skip this one and go to the next crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean if I had YouTube when I was growing up and they did that thing where, you know, you put what is it? They use like a toilet paper roll, stuff tissues in there, and then
do it
put
so
like
they
a
can
cigarette, and then she's gonna get me though. She's gonna get me.
Every episode, I try to make him do something.
They put the cigarette and it would like suck into the tissue, and then it would show you how much nicotine would actually come out.
Yeah.
If I could see that, like,
Oh, it might change things.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not anymore because I'm like,
oh yeah,
the damage has been done. But
it's all good.
Yeah.
What else do you see on the internet?
well, I think that you know
I meant Reddit. He's deep diving right now.
oh, on Reddit. Okay, so on Reddit,
I was trying to be so cool and transition to our ending segment. But,
here's my Reddit on Reddit.
but I'll also listen to your thoughts. I mean,
This isn't gonna need to take very long because but this is something that keeps me awake at night. It
Okay.
has for many
Okay.
years.
okay. I'm
so
ready.
so
I am
my Reddit is very simply, it was titled, because I was just scanning through, and of course I see this, and it's the worst possible topic that my eyes could see
Stop. Oh my God, stop.
at midnight.
Okay.
Because I went into a deep dive until like 5 a.m.
Oh no. Okay, go ahead.
What do you think happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370?
Oh my God. That is the worst thing that you could see because you will. He's a flight guy. And yeah. You know,
I took my first flying lessons in a Cessna 172 when I was 15 years old.
mhm.
I fly on the simulator nightly. It's like the way I wind down. I
Yeah.
like to fly, you know, back to my hometowns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, planes don't just disappear, and we have satellites that I
Mhm.
swear to you could zoom in to you know,
A guy laying in
a
his yard.
single
I saw that
room
post
out
today.
of thousands of units
Yeah.
and zero in,
On a
x-rayed
target.
through the walls and target in on their butthole. Like you could honestly.
This
So
is
how?
a very butthole heavy episode.
Yeah, really. I'm sorry. Zero in on their booty cheeks and
Somehow that's worse.
in a giant plane with 300 people on it
Go on.
disappears.
I don't know. The ocean's pretty crazy though.
But but with all of our satellites,
I know.
how?
I know. It's crazy.
You know what I think happened?
What?
Okay, so I think either we have a lost situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the show Lost, and the plane is in a different dimension.
Manifest. Oh no, Lost.
No,
Yeah,
Lost.
you're right. You're right.
No, but you're right. Manifest.
I should know that Trav worked on that show.
But you're right. Which one?
On Lost.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Her husband is full of surprises.
He's a pretty cool guy.
He worked on Lost?
Yeah. And 2.5 Men and Reba.
Well, I knew 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he worked on Reba.
Reebs.
So
Yeah.
one of my old managers wrote the Reba theme song.
Okay, don't ask Trav how he feels about that song.
So every time it comes on, I'm just like, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'm like,
Oh,
you
making that mailbox
lucky SOB.
money.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, we need to do an episode on that. We'll wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
But we'll do an episode on that because I feel like it's it would be like our Ocean Gate episode, which is
Yeah.
going to be like a mini-sode in our archived collection.
I'm glad you brought up Ocean Gate because they found the Titan, and that thing was about this big.
I know they were also really trying though.
That's true.
They were really trying.
Yeah, I don't think Malaysia necessarily wants people to find the aircraft because then somebody's held accountable.
Exactly. Well, we'll get into it.
All right. Yeah, that's a really deep dive.
I'm so excited, though. Well, tell us what you guys think happened. We want to hear about it. Write to us at nashteapodcast@gmail.com. nashteapodcast@gmail.com. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. We're going to talk about my bachelorette party.
Yes.
Woo! And so until then, we'll see you guys then.
Peace.
Bye.